I'm gonna do this quick video because DeadSec's expecting me to go on Minecraft right now. Slept in a little late, and then I see a paper on my setup, and it's talking about here are things you should do instead of the game. And I'm like, I don't think you understand why I play the game. And we just had a full-on conversation about this whole thing. Like we had full conversation, and then last night there was like it was a family relative. There was like, oh, I need to go to work tomorrow, so if you can get off the game early tonight. And I'm like, that's funny because literally my friend got off, so I wouldn't even be talking. And not only that, but recently the other person in the house that isn't related to me been slamming doors and being loud, and you're telling me not to be loud? Like, if you simply had asked me to just not be loud, I could easily do that. But it's like, I don't know, it's just really disrespectful for no reason at all. They don't really understand that I'm not going to get off the game because it's something that I like. It's a part of the career, and it's not going to stop. Like, that's as simple as that. Why do you think I bought the internet for? I'm not doing anything bad, not doing anything negative. I'm not causing no harm. If people need sleep for work, then I'll write. Just say so, and then I'll not talk, and I won't make no noise. If the game makes me mad, then I'll just turn it off or something. I don't know, play a different game. But how come I can't enjoy myself and do the things that I like to do, but everybody else, can do all this other stuff that's way more of an issue than what I'm doing? Like, again, not causing no harm or anything, not doing anything wrong, not doing anything bad. I don't know. Anyways, so as you guys know, I don't use social media that much. I only use mainly YouTube. But I decided to go on a couple social medias just to check up and see what's going on. Nothing really up, nothing really going on, not really any notifications. And then that's also one of the reasons why I stopped using those, because nothing's really happening. I mean, I can post from time to time, but it's not really, it's not really an interest to me because, there's just other stuff to put into. So I'd rather do that. Hence why the gaming is one of the things that is happening. Anyway, hope you have a legendary grand day though. And I go to X/Twitter and I see this post, and I'll throw it up on the screen right now. And it said the person who made Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive had passed away. So shout out to him. I think his name's like, it's not Tomiki, that's freaking Heaven's Lost Property, or Sora. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this. Sora no Atashimoto. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I don't think I even said that right. Sora no Atashi. I give up. Anyways, one of the best series of all time. I think it's gonna get an anime adaptation. I hope, because the anime itself, I think, was on Netflix at one point. And that's how I watched it. I honestly don't know how I watch some of the shows that I watch. It's either from like Misty/Grenexia or Netflix, like years ago. And they had some crazy animes on Netflix. Oh man. Anyway though, I was introduced to some from pretty much both, or I was recommended some. But anyway, so yeah. But I played a little bit of Dead or Alive. You guys know. I talked about it a little bit. I don't play a lot of it, but I saw this funny picture that someone posted saying that he's a legend and he was such a hater or something like that. And I'll throw that screenshot of what he did, and he put like top 5 favorite games and least favorite games. One of his favorite games was Legend of Zelda, so that's obviously like, come on, that's one of the best. And it was Ocarina of Time, which, yep, you got that right. That is a very good game. And the same guy made Dead or Alive. So how trippy is that? Like the connection there, because I love Legend of Zelda too. But how I found Dead or Alive, I'm gonna get into later because it's pretty hilarious, and I can't wait to get into this backstory. I think I talked about it maybe like once or twice on this channel. I don't know. Like I don't even think I might have talked about it at all. Maybe like once. Anyways, and I haven't done content on it because YouTube or the game doesn't like uploading or letting me live stream or upload, and I don't know like what it is. I think it's because of spoilers and stuff, which I can understand like the first like couple years since the game's been out, but like after that, I don't know, or at least the first year. But anyways, so and then on the least favorite, he puts Tekken and all the Tekken games as his top 5, and I'm like, no way, I just bought Dead or Alive 6 and I bought Tekken 7, so I just thought that was kind of funny. I don't know which one I like better, but Dead or Alive definitely. I mean, the anime waifus, I think that's a plus. I think they get extra points for that. And for it being kind of different for what it is, I think that's kind of dope. And kind of a meme because it's, like the bikini fighting and it's like, what? But it's a decent game. It's not a bad game. And I was just playing it to get the trophies. And I got quite a lot of the trophies already, but it is such a grind to do the rest of them. So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this later. I'm gonna just work on some other stuff right now. So, I thought that was hilarious that he made that list. But they were in competition after all. So that's why I brought up the comparison between the two. And Tekken has Negan from The Walking Dead. So, no, I'm kidding. But Tekken's interesting. I played a little bit of Tekken, and I still haven't gotten, used to the controls yet. And I'm still very new to the game. I have to re-download it and play it again. But it seems all right. Tekken is the one game that has the bear as a fighting character. So I thought that was hilarious. And that was also something about Tekken that I knew Tekken from. Back in the day with the Elf Shadow Hot Clone Joshua. 2016, me, him, and Apollo Zentab Tandon, or Krusty or whatever. Played Tekken X Street Fighter, and I played Street Fighter before that. I think the very first fighting game I played probably was Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo, so that's kind of interesting. That one's still one of my favorites, hands down. Besides the Xbox One version, which I probably like better because I mean they expanded upon it. But and then I played more games later on, and then King of Fighters 11 is when I got introduced to King of Fighters. That one's still my favorite one. And then Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 4, and that was on the PlayStation 3. I've had like different games on the PS3, and then I don't know where the Street Fighter game went. And then obviously King of Fighters 11 on PS2. But anyway, so yeah, now that the fighting thing is down and all that's down, after that I got introduced in 2013, before I got Street Fighter 4 actually, by my godfather Jesus, and he had a game, one of the best games I've ever played, one of my favorite games still, by the way, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Love this game, and it's so good. And Nemesis from Resident Evil was one of my mains, and I don't know why I really like this character, but it was just really cool. Yeah, so that game, like, gave me more info on, like, Marvel characters and stuff and all that other stuff before they were actually getting, like, really popular. I mean, at that point, I mean, Captain America, The Winter Soldier should have been out at that point. So, I mean, it was starting to grow in popularity, the whole superhero movies and stuff. But I don't think I really watched them until a little bit later on. And I could be wrong, but I think the first, like, Marvel movies I watched in theaters were Infinity War and Endgame. Or was it Civil War, I think, first? It might have been Civil War. I don't know. Actually, probably not. Maybe. I don't know. It was such a long time ago. Anyway. So, I got King of Fighters 11, UMVC 3. And then I got Street Fighter 4. And then that was 2013. For years, I didn't really play. 2017, I got Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And it was kind of cool with the Infinity Stones, but it didn't really, like, do a lot for me. And it didn't really, like, go crazy or anything. Or was better than the original. It was kind of like a lot of copied stuff from the previous game, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and copied assets and etc. After that, I didn't really play fighting games. Come 2022, though, I was introduced to Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm like, oh yeah, Mortal Kombat, which actually I did play in 2016 also, because the Alpha Hot clone Joshua, X-Eddie's clone, also had Mortal Kombat X, and we played a little bit of that, and I'm like, oh shoot. Of course, obviously one of the first characters I chose was Jason Voorhees, and it was an interesting game. It was different. Yeah, that was an interesting experience, but that was the first time I played Mortal Kombat in a long time. And then 2022 rolls around, and I play Mortal Kombat 11, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I don't remember either experiences with the Mortal Kombat, whether it's 2016 with that clone, or a freaking clone, or in 2022 with Ethan the Goat as his gamertag, or Ethan, which I was not around for a long time. It was just because of Dawn. So then 2025, 3 years later, I then buy Mortal Kombat 11 because it's on sale. And that is when I started getting into fighting games again. And man, let me tell you, like, I started watching Mortal Kombat YouTubers. Like, I watch True Underdog Gaming now. I watch all these other guys, and like, now I watch Mortal Kombat stuff, I watch fighting game stuff, so it's kind of funny. True Underdog also does NetherRealm games, so he talks about Injustice and Mortal Kombat versus DC. So that's an interesting thing there. I stopped watching them, though, because I felt like I watched enough. I'm not going to memorize all that information, because I'm not going to play fighting games more than other games that I currently play. So with that in mind, that's when I started getting into it recently. And then this same year, I also bought Dead or Alive 6 once more. And I started from no trophies, absolutely nothing, to getting most of the trophies, the majority of the trophies. And this is another funny thing. So I would go online, and I would try to get in a ranked match, because that's one of the trophies. And so I would wait a little bit. I would wait like a good couple minutes. Well, actually like over a minute, and I'm like, okay, this is taking forever. I'm just going to try this again. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to do it. So I tried again, and I get in the lobby with someone, and it says accept or decline. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not used to this, so I didn't know. So right before I was going to press accept, this person leaves. And it says opponent has left the match. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not going to have that battle then. So I'm sitting there waiting, and then, you know, a few seconds go by, and then the guy joins back. I think it's the same person. I don't know if it's the same or someone else. And it says accept or decline. And then this time it goes even faster, as in he declines faster and leaves. And then it happens like one more time. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is not going to work out. I'm not going to be able to get this trophy right now. So I uninstalled it for now. And then I'll come back to it in the future, maybe, to do some trophy grinding, because that is one thing I wanted to do, just for fun. So anyways, how did this all start? I know you guys probably been waiting for this part, but all that other information is important. So SMD. So the freaking, how I found this game was in 2013, and I think I was just on the PlayStation Store. No, 2014. And I don't know if I was just looking on the store and just looking around, or somehow I found it. I don't know. Oh wait, no, it goes even further than that. Hold up. This goes all the way back to like 2010 or something. So I had something called the Sega Dreamcast, and I personally liked it. It was kind of cool. That was my first introduction to Tomb Raider, Rayman, Splinter Cell, I think the game was called, and it was kind of weird but kind of cool. It was kind of scary at the same time. What's it called? And obviously the game I'm talking about now, Dead or Alive, but I don't know if it was like the first one, second one, or what. But like, for some reason, like, and then there's this like cartoonish animal game where they had like guns and stuff. It was the Demo Disc 2. It was a green disc, and I remember it specifically, and it had Sonic Adventure on it too. So all those games I was introduced to. I played pretty much every game that's on it, and I tried to get as far as possible, and that was like the whole challenge of it. But of course, I played the Sega Genesis Sonic before, well, or at least knew about it, before I even played Sonic Adventure, so I was already introduced and stuff. Sonic Adventure was kind of cool though, because it's like 3D, but they kind of like did it in a nice way. I think they kind of did it kind of nice. So yeah, it was pretty interesting of an experience, the whole thing. But I played Dead or Alive, and I kind of liked it. Like, it was different, and then I was like, how did I find it on PS3 in 2014? No, I don't know. But anyways, it was a free trial, and I think it was called Dead or Alive 5 Core Fighters, bringing back nostalgia now. And so basically, I get that game, and I start having my friend Carlos come over. At the time, I thought he was my friend, but he was an acquaintance the whole time. But anyways, so the acquaintance, Carlos, comes over, and we used to chill all the time, play Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That was like probably my favorite game. But Dead or Alive was fun because me and him played it too. It just made it even better because, like I said back then, I didn't really have a lot of friends, and even now. So having that experience like made it even better playing with other people. And I wish we recorded it because we were freaking having so much fun. We were swapping off the controller, and we were just like beating the boss, and we would get hype, and it was just something else. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyways, and it was just a funny time, and that was the second time I played Dead or Alive. And then I saw, I think, Dead or Alive 6 Core Fighters, I don't know. Or I think it was on PS4, and I was like on the X Deadly's gamer tag at this point. And so I go in, and I get Dead or Alive 6 Core Fighters, because obviously I haven't bought it up until this year. And it was an interesting game. It was cool to see like all the effects and, you know, how you can turn the camera, which is really funny, by the way, and all that stuff. And like it got improved from the last game, and I thought they did a well job. But playing it and playing the game how it is, I think it's kind of interesting. I like how they present some stuff, and I think they did a good job with how they did the game, and the customization is definitely well done. Now, I'm not going to be doing a Legendary Grand Game review on the game. I only do that for pretty much my favorite games, or games that, you know, I want to talk about in a game review, or I don't know the situation. But I don't think that I'm going to be doing one on DOA 6, neither DOA 5, or pretty much any fighting game at this point. But I do have a video that I have planned on Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate that's going to talk about like how it got me into the fighting game type of thing, even though I've been in it because of Super Smash Brothers, and that was like the first fighting game that I got into, like really into, because I mean Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo, like it was fun and I got a little bit into it, but it had so little compared to like, let's say, Super Smash Brothers Melee. I don't know about Super Smash Bros. 64. I didn't play that. I have yet to play that, actually, like full on actually have a controller, play it with it in my hands on Super Mario 64, the cartridge in the N64, all that. Not emulated, not ROM-ulated. I'm talking about like straight up playing the game. And that was the first franchise that I really got into, and of course I'm still into it now, and they amazing games. And Melee, Smash 4, and Ultimate are my favorite ones. 64 just doesn't really seem like it has a lot. Like, it's okay, and it has its like thing to it. It's a little bit like, you know, doing its own thing type of thing. And then Brawl, I mean, the controls were just like, what the heck? Like, the fact that they didn't let you do GameCube controls on that game just made it like, what? And if they do, well, I take that back, and I might try it, but I feel like there's input lag. But anyway, Brawl I did like, but it's just, with that game, I still feel like there was more to be desired still. But with Melee, like, they did some good stuff on that game, but there goes a point where, like, all right, you unlocked everything, you did it, now, like, either play with your friends or you might get bored trying to go for a high score. I mean, like, you could still do it, but once you like finish going for that high score or whatever, or once you, like, I don't know, some people go for high scores, some people don't, and going for high scores, some people are gonna get bored. And it's kind of the same with like Dead or Alive or like Mortal Kombat, going for high scores and stuff, and that's cool. But I think people eventually, like, there's that point where it's like, okay, I want to play a different game now. And I'm not saying that people are gonna feel that way for Super Smash Bros. Melee, but I'm sure people have. But once you unlock everything, you're pretty much like, if you don't have friends to play with, I mean, CPUs are gonna be okay and fine, but I don't know. I feel like people are just gonna be like, all right, that's that. But then you get to Smash 4 on the 3DS. It's fine, it's cool, has its, you know, couple exclusives and stuff. I like Smash Run. But then you go to Wii U, oh my, there's so much to do. But yeah, the creator died, so rest in peace to him. Making a fun little series. And it's not like one of my favorite games. It's not like what's it called? Like one of the best games I've ever played in my life. But it's a good game, and it's a fun game if you're just trying to have fun and, you know, not trying to criticize it and get into the nitty-gritty of all things. It's just for the fun part of it. Because if I were to get into the nitty-gritty, there's definitely some things that I would be saying about it, like survival mode, for example. I'll do one type of criticism thing here. When they, like, throw out, like, food items for you to get health, sometimes you can't, like, when the opponent's attacking you, you can't really, like, grab those items because your movement is kind of restricted because you can only move so fast, and your opponent's attacking you. So you kind of, it's not very easy to get those items all the time. So I mean, I guess that's part of the challenge, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's a fun little game, you know. It does what it does. It's not like one of my favorite games, and I wouldn't have it installed like all the time. Like as a game I would always have on there. But like if I have some friends over and we want to play a fighting game and or something like that, or just have like a tournament on something, that could be one of the options for a game. But besides that, I mean, I'm pretty much done with the game right now. I got all the trophies, so I'm chilling. And then this is a if. Maybe, not guaranteed, if people want to see, or you guys want to see content on it, then maybe I'll do that. Or like a challenge type video, then maybe I'll go ahead and do that. But as far as it goes, I'm pretty much done with the game. But the creator passed, and that really sucks. Because I like Dead or Alive. It's a fun little game, you know. Very, very good characters. You know, very good female characters. And, you know, stuff like that, man. Like, I think that the series turned out pretty fun. Oh, and I forgot. Basically, I called dibs on Ayane on freaking 2014, and then Carlos was trying to, but he chose, he tried to choose Ayane. I'm like, all right, you could take you ever, go ahead, but that's mine. And then I just went with Kasumi at that point. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. I was like, you could think you have it, it's all good. I mean, if we 1v1, that would change, but because then we would know. But you know what? You could have it, or at least think you have it. Anyway, so yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention that added to the hilariousness and just the whole meme with Dead or Alive. And that's one thing I'll remember about that series. Even though I probably won't ever play it again, it's still, you know, a good series, and the guy made a cool idea, and I like the concept. So shout out to him. The game's definitely worthy of being a thing, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I just want to make this video, well, technically that video, which this is that video, that is this video, and yeah. So I'm gonna go back inside and go grindage. Hope you have a legendary grind day. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. You already know who it is. It's your boy Zach Mountain, or the homie Zach. Nah, 17. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. See you guys next time.